Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of The Joy of Weapon Modding. I'm your teacher this evening, Franny Ross, and the lesson that I'll be teaching today is that of patience. Now, the weapon that I'll be using to help teach that lesson is what I'm firing right now, or more accurately, what I'm not firing, and that is the Daikyu. Warframe's one and only longbow. It is very underappreciated and underused because of its very high charge rate and its focus on status chance instead of crit chance. Now, today we're going to manipulate this weapon in a way that is not traditionally in the meta. And we're going to do that just to see what I can do, how far I can push this weapon. Now, the Daikyu already has the longest base charge up timer of any weapon in Warframe. But when you add critical delay and vile precision to your Daikyu, it turns the charge rate absolutely to 11, or again, more accurately, 17.5 seconds. Yes, it will take you over a quarter of a minute to hit a target, to charge this bow up to attack. Now, I know what you're thinking. Franny, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you want to sit and wait for 17.5 seconds to fire an arrow? What happens if you miss? What happens if the enemies are alerted, like that one was, and you miss? Well, you know, this build isn't necessarily about the meta, and it's not going to be viable on every game type, and it's not really something that I would recommend. It's just kind of something a little bit different, and it slows the pace of the game down, and you manipulate the game in a way that you manipulate the way you are going to play the game, and that's interesting. And that's a little bit of freedom that Warframe provides that not all games really allow. And I think that's very, very interesting. Now, the Daikyu, another lesson that this build will teach you is making sure you land your shots. Because, let me tell you what, waiting 17.5 seconds just to miss is pretty much the most aggravating feeling in the history of my Warframe career. But it did make me a better marksman to try and use this weapon and make sure that I land every single shot, like my life literally depended on it. Now, before I get all these comments, I know it's not in the meta. I didn't provide an entire build, because this is more of just something a little different and a little fun and an interesting way to manipulate the game into doing what you want it to do without necessarily changing massive aspects. And it's a degree of freedom, like I said before, that other games don't necessarily provide. It's play the meta or play nothing at all. But thank you guys for coming. I'd appreciate it if you could leave me a like to show how you appreciated this ridiculous build. And until next time, I'm your teacher, Franny Ross.